Dr. Father Dalit Ilaiah, Vice President of Indian Social Institute, Dr. Selvaraj, Director, Dr. Kancha Ilaiah. I have a difficult task to introduce Kancha Ilaiah. Difficult because I see a large amount of crowd that has come here as a result of his popularity. Kancha, as all of you know, is a different kind of an intellectual. There are various kinds of intellectuals in India. There are those who sit in the research institutes, write pages and pages. Hardly anybody reads that research. There are other people, intellectuals, they write because they have to write, but their writing may not have relevance. But Kancha is a people's intellectual. A people's intellectual who in some way confronts the reality of caste, discrimination, exclusion, and respond to it. And that is why intellectuals of this kind prove a threat to society. Kancha has been controversial. He was issued a show-cause notice by his university for disturbing peace in the university in 2001. Right? In 2001. Academics across the world, across the country as well, joined together to denounce the letter written to him by the registrar of his university. He has been controversial not only to the university, he has been uncomfortable to dominant communities in India because he provokes. But who is this Kancha Ilaiah? And where does his intellect or his wisdom emerge from? Kancha Ilaiah, as introduced to all of us, is a postgraduate from Hyderabad University. He did his MPhil on land reforms and his PhD on Buddha. Much more than his educational qualification is more than that, what he learned from his own family. He belongs to the sheep grazing Kuruma Golla caste, an OBC caste, other backward classes. And this is one thing that he is very proud of. In Indian society, when you belong to a Brahmin community, you think you are pure. You think you have respect. You think in some way you have the right to dominate. Kancha would believe that kind of, imagination people have in some way internalized must be defeated by another kind of discourse. We must look at the grassroots and find out who are the tillers of the soil, who have constructed large number of factories in our country, who have in some way grazed cows, who have built up the agricultural economy in the country and transformed our nation. And he would in some way consider them as pure. And those who think they are pure by birth, he normally considers them schizophrenics. Because you do not in some way have enough of data to define a person pure or impure. Kancha will tell you much of his inspiration for his life came from his mother, Kattama. She was his inspiration. She was at the forefront of Kuruma's struggle against forest guards' discriminatory behavior. As a person from the Golla community, his community was deeply engaged with the rights of cow grazers. They had to go to the forest. And these forest guards very often treated all these people in a very bad manner. And his mother was killed during a violent confrontation while protesting against police brutality. And I'm sure much of his wisdom has come from his contact with his reality. This kind of violence that he in some way experienced from the establishment as they were aching out their living. It is once again difficult to describe the person of Kancha Ilaiah. We can only say what he has done, what he has taught. He has a number of awards for his credit. He has won the Mahatma Jyotirao Phule Award. He was in Nehru Fellowship between 1994 and 1997. He was also awarded the Manyavad Kanshiram Smriti Mahanayak Puraskar and several other big and small awards. He has worked very closely with a number of national bodies. He was a member of the National Research Committee constituted by the Ministry of Social Justice. He was a member of the Indian Council of Social Science Research, New Delhi. He was a member of the National Book Trust and many others. The basic accusations against Kancha Ilaiah is, first one, he has been accused of inciting violence against dominant communities. So he has been accused for inciting subaltern communities for violence. The second accusation against Kancha Ilaiah is that he continues to believe in the Aryan invasion theory. There are other accusations against him, but these are the two major accusations that are made against him. His books are read widely. A number of us write books, articles, they normally land up in the library, and sometimes you see a lot of dust over it. But in the case of Kancha Ilaiah, his book, Why I Am Not a Hindu, created a big storm in the country. It was debated, it was discussed in TV channels. There are a large number of reviews and also a large amount of hate literature, hate letters to the editor on the book. His second book, God as a Political Philosopher, was another important work of his. And perhaps another work that created a turmoil was Buffalo Nationalism. He would say, in India, instead of a cow, we must have buffalo as a national animal. And he has various reasons why buffalo must be a national animal in relation to the cow. And as far as Kancha is concerned, cow is an alien animal, not a Dravidian one. His other book is Post-Hindu India. Post-Hindu India and the Untouchable God. There are other works of his, quite important, sometimes with others, but these are perhaps the major works that have created controversies. And to have a person of this kind to give this Volken lecture, I would think is a tribute to Volken. Father Volken was not an ivory tower scholar. Jesuits have two social institutes, one in Delhi, one here. The Delhi one is more a research institute. The one in Bangalore has been always involved in grassroots movements, supporting works in villages and rural areas. And I think it is appropriate that we have a person like Kancha Ilaiah to deliver this lecture precisely as a tribute, because he is a people's scholar, he is a people's intellectual. In the process of his lecture, you will discover more about him. I can't describe the full Kancha. I can only tell you some of the things that in some way, in my imagination, are present. Kancha Ilaiah will speak for 45 minutes. After the 45 minutes, There will be question answers. You can raise questions. And you can also, it is preferred that you write those questions and hand over to the moderator. That becomes easy for us to handle those. So with these introductory words to Kancha Ilaiah, let me request you to take over. Thank you very much, Kancha.
Thank you, Ambrose and Grace, for that gracious introduction of my personal life. At the outset, let me really thank the Indian Social Institute, with which actually I started my introduction to this Bangalore city way back in '79. This is the place where I first came as a research scholar, and thereafter I have been regularly coming. Particularly for inviting me to this great man's memorial lecture in the presence of the Vice Chairman Terence Farias, and of course Selvaraj has been communicating with me to bring me here with a lot of trouble. And Ambrose, my friend, there are lots of my friends here. Ruth Manorama, is one of my long-time associates. After Buffalo Nationalism, after Buffalo Color. And there is my friend, very well-known journalist, who writes more or less in an agreeable form. Akar Patel sitting there. And there are a number of senior citizens, academics, lawyers, students, particularly girls, and several young men have come here. I really thank all of you for inviting me to this important lecture. Friends, this topic is a chosen topic by Selvaraj himself. Perhaps having read my book, Why I Am Not a Hindu, and also Buffalo Nationalism, and also listening some of the debates on the TV channels and debates that have been going on in the newspapers in the recent past on the question of nationalism in this country. Having heard the remarkable contribution of Henry Volken for establishing ISI in Delhi, where for some time my friend Ambrose was a director, which was an activist center in Delhi, taking up the mass people's cause. Then this center, then all over the world, particularly liberating the labor in Orissa and assigning land for the poorest of the poor in this country. Perhaps if such people had not come from outside India, I cannot imagine what would have happened to the masses if the kind of ideologies that are in the ruling domain today were to say that no, outsiders are outsiders, and more particularly Christians are not welcome or not supposed to stay and live how they are living, perhaps India would not have been the same what it is today. And Henry's work tells us what they have done to the poorest of the poor, to Dalit, to labor, to tribals. So I'm glad that I've been invited to give this lecture. Friends, My personal name is Ilaiah. You can see the spelling, I-L-A-I-A-H. And my family name is Kancha. And we in that part write like that. In the recent past, at a time when the Brahmin associations agitated against my writing, burned my effigies, put a lot of cases, were abusing me in my name, that Ilaiah is an easily abusable name. And doubting my nationalism, I was one of the well-known anti-nationals in the Delhi ruling circuit. I did not study abroad, nor I did study in any English medium school of Christian missionaries. This name was given by my mother and father. My father was a fairly ignorant man. He taught me more than anything how to drink toddy. From my childhood itself. Then my another grandmother taught me how to eat meat and fish and anti-national food.
Well said.
And beef was given up by my family for some time. We don't know at what time. But again, I restarted that later in order to go to heaven. Because I strongly believe those who don't eat beef don't go to heaven at all. That was my main point, Brahminic vegetarians. Now, if this name Ilaiah were to be researched, and if around 1975-76, if I were not to come across accidentally by the book written by Isaiah Berlin, with the same spelling except S there. And mine was in Warangal district, Papayapet, and with a village level regional god called Ailoni Mallana there, who is a shepherd god. That name came from that. But I was so humiliated in the university. This fellow, Ilaiah, Ilaiah, Pulaiah, do they come to university? What do they do here? So if only I were not to come across Isaiah Berlin's book and Isaiah name as the world-renowned greatest living philosopher at that time. He was alive at that time. I read so. Perhaps I would have become, at that time, a heroic laborer. That was the humiliation. So, what is the national name? Nationalist. Shastri is a nationalist. Sharma is a nationalist. Rao is a nationalist name. Reddy is a nationalist name. Nationalist name. In Karnataka, Pai is nationalist name. Murthy is a nationalist name. But not mine. If only I were not to know this, perhaps I would have suffered inside me as being born as this nation's citizen after independence, with a lot of nationalist ideological background around it. My parents did not know nation means Himalayas to Kanyakumari, or Arabian Sea to Bay of Bengal. Their world was the village, their sheep, we had buffaloes, we had cows in the village. And if they go to some other district, that was another country for them. Maro Desham. O Desham for your children. That was my nation. So I was born anti-national apeshasti. So this name shepherd, I took as a challenge that I am born in this village and I did not get my education in Oxford, Cambridge, Harvard, which were incidentally the Christian theological centers. I did not get this English from their schools. And all those who studied in Oxford, Cambridge, Harvard, studied there and came back to India and declared themselves as nationalist cows. And eating only this nation's grass. And they studied English. And incidentally, this is the 200th year of English education in India. In 1817, because of the encouragement of William Carey, not because of Macaulay. I know how upper caste intellectuals abuse Macaulay, that he destroyed this country by introducing colonial English education. But the real introducer was William Carey. And his follower was, his footsteps was followed by Rajaram. In 1817, they mobilized few Brahmin students, children, at a place called President's. Later on it became Presidency College. Started teaching ABCDs to Brahmins at home. And after 200 years, this English, mind you not Sanskrit, mind you not Parsi or Arabic, not any other Mughal administrative language, not Pali, but English is fully arrested in the hands of cow-nationalists. And yet, it is a language of anti-national Christians. It is not us as of now. So we took up a campaign, the Dalit-Bahujan movement. English is Indian, and every SC, ST, BC child from now onwards will study only English. And after 100 years, we will see who will rule this country. After 100 years, Buffalo will rule this country. Therefore, what is this nationalism? Yesterday, I believe Kancha was here. His name is also Kanaya. Any idea is dangerous. Ramaya, Kanaya, Ilaiah, Kulaya, only Shastri Sharma, Ramurti, great nationalism. Because they do not look after the country. They do not soil their hands. They do not till the land. They do not produce grain. They do not produce birakaya, betakaya, dal. But they eat everything. So nationalism means that nationalism. So there are two nationalisms. One is Buffalo nationalism. That is ours. As Ilaiah, with a name that has been given by my mother, who was a shepherd woman, who milked buffalo milk, a black buffalo, She would feed her till her belly is full and make her drink all kinds of protein water and milk, and then make milk with her own scientific experiment. And then curd was turned into buttermilk. And out of the curd and buttermilk, it was my mother who produced ghee. But poor mother never drank ghee. Ghee has all gone to the Hindu gods. And the Murti Sharma Shastris drank the ghee never worked, therefore the bellies have grown to such a size that heart attack is their main role. So that is my mother. What did my father do? Every morning he will wake up 300 sheep and goat that he has and look at their stomachs and take them into the forest, see where the patches are there, see where the goats can eat the good plants that goats eat. Goats don't eat grass. Many Shastri Sharmas don't know what goat eat. Goat don't eat grass, goat eat medicinal plants. I keep telling, I'm shocked. I suffered 2 dangers of smallpox and a huge burning. My body is not tall, but my brain is working. Why? Because I ate a lot of goat brains. Goat brain is the best creative medicinal protein. So you all must eat tomorrow. Because if somebody does a research on my body doesn't look like Ambedkar's body. Ambedkar is tall, was tall, and studied abroad. But I didn't learn this English in any convent school. I learned this English under the tree, speaking to a local goddess called Pochamma, because that goddess understands all languages. When I said if I am not a Hindu, do Hindu gods understand Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam and English? They said no. They will understand only Sanskrit. Then I said, for me they are not gods. If God created all languages, they should understand all languages. Without understanding, how could they create a language? So, it was there I learned this English. Now, it is this that counterposes the question of cow-nationalism that Narendra Modi as Prime Minister, claiming as the backward class. I have a serious doubt about his backward classness. Because no backward class can be a vegetarian. That's very simple. Without me, our marriages don't, nobody will come to marriage. So Modi is only vegetarian, I believe. Then how is the backwardness? Backward class people will have forward brains. And universal. That is where I said when you are calling me anti-national, when you are insulting my name Ilaiah, which has an international existence. After I read Isaiah Berlin's book, I wanted to know where this name came. Then in the introduction of the book, it was mentioned that this is the name of a prophet in 7th century BC in Israel. So Ilaiah here in 20th century, Isaiah there in Israel in 7th century BC. He must have been my great-great-grandfather. I don't know. But there is no Sharma in the world. In Germany, France, Italy, America, today that is their loving land, and Trump does not want them there. And I believe, Obama said, a Hindu can And I thought if Hindu becomes president of America, if automatically it would be a Brahmin, then if he plants a idol there in the White House, what will happen to the Christian civilization? Idol worship? Poor Obama did not understand this. The whole civilization of Christianity is built on the basis of fighting idol worship. And Obama did not understand that idol worship is the basis of Hinduism. So he said a Hindu can also become president of America. Then that means Christianity will disappear from America. So, but for them that is the most lovable land. And from there they will tell us, Ilaiah, Ilaiah, Pullaiah, Siddaramaiah, how should we be nationalists here? From America. There will be CEOs of Google, or there will be something else. Now the question is, what is that nationalism Narendra Modi's ideology propagates? India is a cow nation. But my simple research of a common sense, it did not require a Harvard brain of Subramania Swami. What Harvard brain it is? The simple common sense is India living with cow milk or buffalo milk? What is the amount of milk that these two animals are producing? One day I was on NDTV or something, there was an RSS man on the other side. There was a big problem between Muslims and so-called Hindus on cow issue. He said cow is a sacred mother. They have defied, insulted. No, it was Jaja. There was a cow and that one dead cow was skinned by 5 Dalit boys and 5 Dalit boys were butchered. Skin for skin. If you remove one skin of one dead cow, we will remove how many Dalits are available there. Skin for skin. Your human skin for Dalit cow skin. But Dalits know how to make a shoe, chappal, bag out of cow skin. Do these people know what to make out of human skin? What is their science? The common sense is that a debate was going on. I said, why cow is more sacred than buffalo? Why is not there buffalo in the Constitution of 48 articles directive principle protection? Gandhi did not want. Only cow was mentioned. Cow and its cow. Milk animals were mentioned. But only cow as an animal was mentioned. Therefore, all cow protection laws in the country. And therefore, no cow meat. Therefore, no labor, no employment around leather industry, meat industry, because of this cow protection. But what about buffalo protection? No. Buffalo is not good national animal. Why? I asked him, what is the milk that cow gives? He didn't have the data, statistics. Because Hindutva people don't believe in data, statistics, studying. They believe only in belief. Social science is absolute nonsense in their view. Because social science is given by Christians. Social science came out of Bible. Social science did not come out of Rigveda. Where is social science in Rigveda? The word nation came from Bible. The word nation did not come from Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda or Bhagavad Gita. So I asked him, if you have a laptop at you all keep laptops at least because America is giving you. Go to the Google and see what is is the cow milk and what is the buffalo? Cow gives 72.5% milk in India. Buffalo gives 72.5. Cow milk is hardly 16%. Go and see today. We all drink cow milk, cow curd, buffalo milk, buffalo curd, buffalo ghee. But buffalo is not a sacred animal because it is a black animal. So black animal is bad, its white milk is drinkable. Its white milk is national, its black body is anti-national. Now, I just looked at how many buffaloes exist in a village. How many cows exist even today? After Indian agriculture became mechanized for the last 20 years, village after village don't have cows at all. Cows are there only around Goshalas and their mobilization. Buffaloes are in front of every Dalit house, every backward house, every Adivasi house. Buffalo is their economic animal. And then I had very little travel in the world. I went to America. Deliberately I went to some of their cattle feeding centers. I did not see buffaloes there. Because the white Americans killed similarly like our Aryans, our Brahmins, killed all the black buffaloes. There are no buffalo there. Europe, there is no buffalo there. Even China, there is no buffalo there. Only in India, in South Asia, buffalo gives 70 to 75%. Yet it is anti-national. Now, when did buffalo get domesticated? Even in Africa today, buffalo is feared to be a non-domesticable thing. Very ferocious. A buffalo can just kill a lion very easily. Now look at our historians. I know at least half dozen historians who have done research on lion, but not a single one on buffalo. Only Buffalo Kancha Ilaiah has to say that. Kancha Ilaiah, these are buffalo scholars. They will even study elephant. Manaka Gandhi studies every animal except buffalo. Dog, this and that. She protects every day. So, why buffalo got domesticated in India at one time? It's a very simple common sense reading of Indian students' history that Indus Valley civilization portrayed a humpless animal with a sharp, horns. That is not cow or bull, that is buffalo. So it could have been the Yadava community which domesticated with all the skills, knowledge, science and study required to domesticate buffalo, which was not possible, which could not be possible for the rest of the world. But the Yadavas and Gollas are supposed to be foolish people in the country. There are jokes about them, about our people. No, they are, their brains have at least a minimum of a small amount of Yapakaya eri. That is the neem fruit size of eri. That is madness. I keep saying no, I always have a palm fruit size of eri in my mind. Madness in my head. What is the madness? Domesticating an undomesticable animal and converting that animal into milk producing animal, which milk even Ganpati drinks the whole day. God, without leave. So this, in my view, from Indus Valley to now, India survived with buffalo milk. If Indian Christians and Muslims, Dalit-Bahujans, want to claim their Indian nationalism, put buffalo symbol in front of every church and mosque. Because God loves animals. God created animals. destroy your confidence by making an animal as their sacred partner. And you don't have any symbol for yourself. So the Buffalo Nationalists, we believe that buffalo should be our symbol in front of every institute. Then the cow-nationalists don't come that side. Because they hate buffalo. If black is coming, you know, if a Brahmin family is going for a marriage alliance, if buffalo comes on the way across them, they will go back. Or if a Muslim woman with a black burqa, not only black burqas, if they come, they will go back. And if a black cat comes, they will go back. I want to take every time a black buffalo around them. Every time. See, my nation is a nation of production. It is the same cow-nationalists who defined my production as pollution. Those cow-nationalists who are talking about cow sacredness today, where was the white animal in this country? Two animals came from outside, horse and cow. Horse came as a war animal of Aryans when they invaded, and cow and bulls came as their food animal. Favorite food animal. If you read my God as Political Philosopher, Buddha's Challenge to Brahmanism, and even Robila Thapar, P.D. Kosami, everybody said that in ancient India, every early Aryan Brahmin priest would eat 8 bull brains in any sacred day. 8 bull brains. They were full-scale beef eaters. Now they are full-scale vegetarian eaters. Now they have not looked after the cattle at that time. We were looking after cattle. If Kancha Ilaiah is standing here, Kancha Ilaiah's grandmother and grandfather would have been there definitely in industrial civilization. Otherwise I would have come suddenly. I don't come. No God creates it. You know, Mahatma Phule said a remarkable thing. He said, the Brahminic text said, God created people, that man, the Brahma, created Brahmins his head, from his head, Kshatriyas from his shoulders, Vaishyas, including Gandhi and Lohiya. Vaishyas were created from his thighs. Shudras, that is Kancha Ilaiah, Siddaramaiah, Ilaiah, Malaiah, Pullaiah, we were all created, including Ruth also, were created from his feet. So the head people cannot go towards feet, feet people cannot go towards head. Head people can go towards feet to eat our labor. But we can't take their brain. Now luckily there was no brain, we would not have gone there at all. Now this is the creation theory. Now what Hindutva people are telling us is, a nation is defined along with boundary, along with so-called culture, even the nativity of God. This is only nation. Hindus believe that Hindu gods were born here, number of them, in different shapes, and they could not cross the seas, they could not go outside, they remained here, and this unequal creation is perpetually only here. And Mahatma Phule said, this is a nonsensical creation theory. All of us are born from the womb of our mothers, not from any feety cell. Now they are saying nationalism includes gods. Now I am, as a Buffalo scholar, I am shocked. God is universal. God is never national. Tell me, is Christian God national? If Christian God is national, how many Christian nations are there? But they are nations. Christian religion is common. There are 56 Muslim nations. Allah is common. There are 20 Buddhist nations. Buddha is one, divine is common. But Hindu nationalism and God only here. So their gods are here, they are here, their cow has come from outside. Their horse has come from outside. So my question is, nationalism is bound to be defined through the work productivity of the masses. We till the land, we were born here, we deforested, we domesticated animals, we made them what to eat, what not to eat, we fed them. See, all your tongue tastes are not in the tongue. The tongue taste is in the brain. If your mother says, while feeding you right from 3rd month, 4th month, 5th month, you know, this meat is very good, eat. I will keep eating all my life that meat. If my mother says, meat is bad, don't eat, only eat birakai, only betakai, only dal, and that brain hates any meat that brain sees. So what your childhood teaches you what to eat, that tongue taste continues to be the brain given direction. So my mother taught me, eat roti chawal, dry fish, meat, fish, you know, all kinds of meats. We had no vegetables. So my days today, I stay in 5-star hotel 2 days, I get tired and run back to my house. My sister-in-law cooks very nice dry fish, full soup. I eat, then I am happy. My brain starts working. Till then, 5-star hotel food doesn't give me taste. That is my original taste. So, the Brahmin child is trained like that. So, you train your people not to produce food. See, food comes out of mud. Those who hate the mud of a particular soil, but eat the fruits that come out of that mud, are anti-nationals. We produce food from the mud. It is they who say a woman who menstruates produces from outside body polluted waters. See, it should be kept out, that is mud from our body. When a woman delivers a child, around the child's body, there comes a mud, a mucus, that is pollution. Keep her out. Our monthly, you know, routine processes of life are mud out of the body. So they kept women out of that because of that so-called mud impurity. But my point is, without that mud, starting from puberty, there will not be a child. That mother's mud from our womb should be worshipped, whether it is in church, in masjid, or in temple. Otherwise, it is not a divine place. It is not a divine place. These nationalists hated the mud in the field. These nationalists did not look after a single goat, single cow, single buffalo, but claim ownership over the animals. Therefore, what we are saying is, this nation, if it needs symbols of animals, Ambedkar suggested Ashoka symbol at that time to the nation. Nehru in the beginning disagreed with that. But in the discovery of India, he also discovered it was Buddhism which gave India liberty, equality, fraternity, not Hinduism. Therefore, he adopted the Ashoka symbol. But I think they have committed a mistake by not putting buffalo everywhere in Indian Parliament. Once that were to happen, the black would not have been a protest color, but black would have become a worshipping color. If colors are not equal, production will suffer. And what nonsense is this? They say black is bad. But if their white, air become white, immediately they paint black their head. I keep asking these family thinkers, if when black is sitting on your head itself, if it is bad, you should cut your head. You love black on your head. Assume that there is a very white girl like this sitting in my friend who introduced me. She had a white hair. Would she get married in Indian market? Very white hair. Very white. Very white hair. But why? White body and black hair is beautiful. Simply because Aryans had white body and black hair. Whatever they had, they wrote as beautiful. So today I am simply turning upside down. I am saying black body, black hair is beautiful. And like buffalo, that is available only in India. Look at Ruth. Only in India. There is no black body and black hair. Some Americans, maybe Michelin. But they don't have black hair like us. Our black hair are different. That is the reason why. Today they have promoted even in America, Europe, Indian variety of black hair. And they are following. So the question is, Narendra Modi's or BJP's RSS cow-nationalism is anti-production, anti-mud, anti-food. And our Buffalo nationalism is color equal, respect equal. I don't discriminate white. You know, first time I am telling you this story. When I was in my research degree, I wanted to marry. Then I thought I should never look for a white girl, look for a very black girl. I looked for one. And I proposed. We were friends for some time. Later on, she said, since you are not white, I am not going to marry. I said, fine. But still I respect your black beauty. I've been respecting your black beauty without marrying. Wherever she is, I still respect that black beauty. I know. But see, what is this color? How is their nationalist animal, not because it is producing wools, not because it is giving us leather, not because it is, giving us skin for leather or bones for our rooms. Our buffalo is the same. And look at this country's consciousness, including Christian schools. All of you youngsters imagine, did any one of your school teacher ask you to write an essay on buffalo? But how many teachers ask to write an essay on cow? Is it normal? Am I right or not? Why is? Because the teachers' minds were cowized. They're cowized minds. They shiver at the beauty of buffalo. The same four-leg animal and very good milk. And the science told today that Indian buffalo milk is more suitable for Indian body and brain. I pray them only drink cow milk and how you will die, you will see. But that is not an animal on which I can say. This is where our mental slavery starts. is much bigger than the European state. Now that is the reason why we said, like Henry, who came here with pro-labor, pro-poor, pro-Dalit, pro-tribal approach. The Britishers came very late and left this country very early. We would have wanted them to continue for some more time. But they were also anti-Buffalo. So today, all of us, Buffalo is our national animal. Let us claim that animal as a symbol, as a metaphor. Then see who will win the battle. Me are on the ground. Second, English is Indian. Today, 99% of Brahmin children study in English medium schools. And that to private now. They say that public government schools should not teach English, including your scholars from Karnataka, whether it is Anantamurthy, or whether it is your Girish Karnataka, or any one of them, or Narendra Modi, or your Nilakani. They prescribe nationalism, doses from Delhi. But ground level at Karnataka, they say government schools should be only in Kannada mother tongue. As if SC, ST, BC mothers don't learn English. My mother is in Swargama. She has not gone to Naraka at all, I know. Because she never deceived anybody in life. She never told lies in life. She ate her own labor power for herself. She will automatically go only to heaven. All those who eat others' labor already are there in the hell. One day there was a debate on TV channel. That day we had a beach festival in Hyderabad, Usmania University. So one Swarupananda Swami, he has a TV channel. He said this Kancha Ilaiah group is destroying the nation. They are eating beef. They will all go to Naraka, hell, and condemning them to go to hell. All those who eat beef alone definitely will go to hell. Then the TV channel fellow called me on phone. I said, I just now ate very full beef and I am definitely going to Swarga. My mother is already there. So are you sure you will come there also? I said. You are very doubtful of your heaven. That is the reason why you are a sannyasi, you are not doing any work. In villages, all sannyasis are supposed to be non-working, lazy guys. So then he was shocked. I said, tell me whether you can come to heaven with me or not. He was doubtful. I said, you will definitely go to hell only. See, the question is, all these SCS OBCs who are producing food, looking after cattle, these environmentalists are not looking after cattle, not feeding them, producing grain, producing even vegetables. They will definitely go to heaven. Those who are eating others' labor, however puja they will go to hell only. I will see how they will not go to hell. So, our nation is a nation of production. We SC, OBCs, we love all colors as equal. This nation is a nation of buffalo. Cow is our animal. Like any other animal, if you prioritize one animal over the other, we will challenge you with our buffalo. We had Gautam Buddha earlier, the first prophet of religious philosophy. Then there were 5 great prophets in this world who have really changed the world today. Gautam Buddha, Jesus Christ, Prophet Muhammad, Karl Marx, and America. These are great prophets. I 5 prophets. Because in Hindu scheme, there is no single prophet. Now, Venkaya Naidu is saying Narendra Modi is a prophet. Did you see that? He is saying Narendra Modi is Messiah. I wrote an article in Telugu, Venkaya Naidu, don't even know, Messiah is a god of Hebrews, not Hindus. Then he said he is a messenger of God. I said, where is the messenger of God in Hinduism? All gods are only incarnations. You say Narendra Modi is 11th avatar of Vishnu. Fine. But why are you saying he is a messenger of God? I said messenger of God means only Prophet Muhammad. You don't even understand that. You are making Narendra Modi Prophet Muhammad. Don't insult Islam. Don't insult Islam. If you see, problem with these people is they don't read anything. And they don't produce anything. What do? They eat every day many times. Therefore, they need lot of private Apollo hospitals to take care of the hearts. Otherwise, heart attacks. This is the trend. Therefore, if Narendra Modi's nationalism is cow-nationalism, Kancha Ilaiah's nationalism is Buffalo nationalism. I told them, if you want to kill me, tell me where I should come to kill me. Let us see. I am not afraid of death. See, these people believe that their gods also have weapons, therefore they can kill. I said, when I am not afraid of your God with weapons, I am not afraid of anybody in this world. And I told them, if you have several avatara gods, there are 5 prophets with me. Buddha, Jesus, Muhammad, Marx and Ambedkar are standing behind me. You cannot do anything. You cannot do anything. Now that is the reason why my mother told me, look, she said, why are you going to school? Don't waste your time. Go after sheep. Later on I learned somewhere, it is the God shepherd who is worried about one sheep that runs away when 99 are at one place. And I tell them, I took that name from my village, from my mother. She is a shepherd and Jesus' mother is a shepherd. Mary was a shepherd. What is wrong? We are universal. I belong to this nation and I am a nationalist here, I am a universalist as a shepherd. Thank you very much.
I am sure that we have been provoked by Kancha Ilaiah. I am sure you have a number of questions or clarifications. You can raise them. Kancha will take 2 or 3 questions together. Anybody has any questions? Okay. Is there another mic here? Hand mic somewhere there, Philip. You can also give your questions in writing, then it will likely to go faster.
Thank you, sir, for that wonderful lecture of yours. I'm not anti-Buffalo, but being from Chennai, Dravidian background, want to ask this question. How do you take the Dravidian Jallikattu protest against the Hindutva cow happening now? What's your take on that?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Akhila. It's not really a question, but kind of question. So, when Kancha Ilaiah was talking, he was mentioning about the menstruation of women, and people consider it as mud or filth or whatever polluted thing. But isn't it that every woman invest 9 such menstrual on each baby when she is producing. And when such people, become priests or whatever they are, don't apply their mind in our judicial language. We say there is no application of mind in our book. So they don't apply their mind that they are the product of such 9 menstruals.
Okay. Okay.
So why is this being still stigmatized? Why can't we get rid of it either through the judiciary or whatever the new law can be made about it? We are still making it stigmatized and telling the women, you are a woman, you are a girl, dress up like this. So discriminate or diverse yourself in such a way that everybody can recognize you as a woman or female and can assault, attack, abuse, do whatever can be done in the name of woman or these kinds of things.
Question is clear. Okay. 2. Anybody else? Please. Then come back.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that inspiring talk. From the community, from the community of the oppressed class, Buffalo Nationalism, is it a new nationalism or the original nationalism?
All right.
This is a more application question than anything. In a context where cow-nationalism seems to be firmly in the saddle, how does Buffalo nationalism begin to get the power related to Buffalo nationalism? How does it run assertive and enjoy that?
How can we replace cow-nationalism with Buffalo nationalism?
Right.
Okay.
Hello, good evening, sir. It's not a question, it's just something which I would like to say. When you said the Brahmins are they're made from the head and we Shudras are from the feet, I myself belong to other backward classes, and I just want to say, isn't it interesting, how, okay, fine, Brahmins are made from the head, okay, very intellectual people, and we Shudras are from the feet and we are looked down upon. But every time, even the Brahmins go and touch the feet and they pronounce their guru and master, and don't you think in that way they are touching us, they are falling down onto us? So it's a very, I don't know.
Okay. Any other?
It's not a question, but we are telling you journalism. For upbringing one religion, you cannot just move and say that other religion is nothing. You are so-called religion. We cannot accept it. That's it. And you were talking about other castes stuff. Okay, I agree. Obviously, whatever has happened, the majority have always been dominating the minority. I agree with that, and it is not good. But just talking about, you were talking about Dalits, Christians. There are Dalits in Hinduism and all of the religions also. So just concentrating, you were also concentrating on this one part. So that's not equality, because you are talking about all that, not bringing up one animal, not just, bringing up one animal like cows. We shouldn't do that, I agree to that point. But you were also doing maybe the same thing, you were just putting down other religion, other castes to bring up your own, my own.
All right. So in other words, you are creating a new kind of oppression. Okay. Yes, sister.
So it was really inspiring. I do agree that there is so much of discrimination, especially for the low class, the Dalits, and other backward classes. But as our fundamental right says, right to equality, and it is everyone right to freedom, first of all. And I can understand that you have right for freedom to claim equality in the society, especially in the nation. But my question is, but I can't put down the others and take away their freedom. I can fight for my rights in the society, but it is their right and their freedom. So I cannot put the others down and say it's my or say my cause or my nationality, my Christianity is greater than other one.
So you're saying maintain the status quo. Okay. Yeah. Just there are two other questions, Kancha Ilaiah. According to you, which other communities come under the term which you use, Bahujan? Second one. The second question, he has answered it to the question. The term Bahujan, which includes SC, ST, OBCs, RMS, then what is the need of using Dalit-Bahujan and the other RMS?
I have one question.
Yeah. So I think with those questions, I request Kancha to reply. We will have questions and all right, the last question.
My name is Sultana Begum. Your talk was very inspiring, but I just want to tell one thing. In spite of all the class inequalities what we have gone through, do you think in today's world, you and I, can anybody trouble us? The only way I feel, there cannot be a class discrimination only when every individual is economically and socially equal. Unless we have political economic power, this caste, religion and all is to me secondary aspect. So unless we grow economically, see, they say Muslims sometimes are different. I have never come across any incident, anybody dare degrade me.
All right, the question is clear. Economic empowerment will get it. Okay, clear. Kancha, please.
Now there are a number of questions. I may not be able to answer each one in particular form. But let me take up this women's issue. Now all spiritual systems, over a period of their evolutionary processes, treated women's procreating as pollution. But the Hindu Brahminic order did that much more. It went to the extent of sati, it went to the extent of child marriage and so on. But today, my feeling is that the question of spiritual system and bodily pollutions need to be completely abolished. That the whole idea of women's procreation. Because there is linked up question to the religion issue that you raised. See, today if I look at human mind and even in many cases human body is more governed by spiritual ideas and culture than governments, states, and even economic systems. Cutting across the nations, religion as a spiritual system still is a male institute. Therefore, it is this spiritual system that produces so many full-time workers, whether it is Christianity, whether it is Islam. Therefore, what cultural formations came from religions have their own controlling mechanisms on women and on human function. My feeling is, for India, which is a multi-religious country, to transform from human untouchability to the Brahminic practice at the end. This is unparalleled in any other part of the world. World has not witnessed this, inequality, gradation, and so on, even from slavery to master or serf to feudal or nothing compared to this. And also women inequality to man-woman equality. My feeling is all religions need to engage with reform of this nation. But that engagement will become globally productive and egalitarian only when Indian nation abolishes caste and identity. That's the most barbaric form that world and the notion of institutions that ever seen in the world. So maximum inequality is going to be slowly abolished. But it is based on the same pollution, same maximum inequality. Even American women did not come to terms with a woman becoming president. Look at the paradox. Therefore, when I'm trying to construct a theory that without mud there is no food, without menstruation there is no baby. All religions based on this principle need to transform themselves. There are 3 P's in the world. These 3 P's are very important. Production, that from land, from forest, from our own environment we need to produce food. Feed animals, feed us, so production is key for all our survival. The second that is very important is procreation, human procreation, animal procreation. The third is protection. Nations work out based on the theory of protection. Now, in these 3, the Dalit tribal culture in India is far more superior than all religious cultures on equality basis. Production they do. Procreation, Indian tribes even today are equal, men and women. Protection, India as a nation took protected borders. There was Maha regiment, there were IE regiments, there were tribal regiments, Gurkha regiments, but never there was a Brahmin regiment. Brahmins did not go to protect. Why? Because they worked out a theory that we will be inside the nation, dominating the system, but don't work on borders. So now I am telling, please form your own army, go and work with vegetarian on China border and Pakistan border, let us see whether you can protect this nation or not. Because who's cold country? Therefore, religion still is significantly defining all our characters. This is where do Dalit-Bahujans go from the Hindu order? Earlier, before independence, in Afghanistan, Pakistan, Bangladesh, the same lower caste embraced Islam. And the Brahmins and Banyas migrated from all these countries to mainland India. In Northeast, they went into Christianity. So there is a divine equality established in those regions. There are problems. But here, Buddhism was given out, we are at a crossroad. Therefore, my question is, the religious question has to settle down in India in relation to nation also. Now, why do you put certain symbols as again counter to another symbol? One girl asked, are you not using the same theory that our buffalo is greater and your cow is weaker? Or are you not saying by using the same technique of inferiority, superiority, that black is superior to white. No. There is a lesson which I wrote in subaltern studies 9th one. I said that till all colors are treated equal, whichever color is treated unequal for a long time has to be put on superior status for some time in a level playing field. That's the theory. Two people who believe that they came from heaven want to go down towards feet where they touch his feet. No, it is not Brahman who touches others' feet. It is others who have to touch their feet. My main battle with Brahmanism started when my mother died in 1967. We were orphan children. She was the family head. My father was innocent. He only knew sheep, goat, not civil society. My mother knew that. So there are caste, cultural teams. We have, Gangiratula people, those who play with bulls and all that. We have party papalas who come and play around the funeral pyre and so on. Two Brahmins came. They asked us to shave our head, and then they took some water from stream, some nadi. We were all made to go to nadi, but actually the whole caste brought lot of toddy and liquor. Meat was ready, and we were crying. So this Brahmin said, he put some water this side, some water that side. He put some grass ring to my hand. This thing, not gold ring, not grass. He put that, and he asked my father, okay, you are giving, in those days, 400 rupees. We were very poor. He gave 400 rupees. He said, no, this is not enough, we need a cow. We had 2 cows, but they were tilling land. My father started crying. Brahmin asked, no. I can't give what happens, we don't know. I can't tell my father that mother has already gone to heaven, don't worry about this. And he doesn't understand. Then my father said, there is one small calf, once that grows, they will get everything. Then this fellow, both of them stretched their feet. They said, touch our feet now. I said, why? I repeat, I will not touch your feet whether my mother goes to heaven or not. Then he said, no, you have to touch my feet. That is the last performance. See, he recited some mantra, he did not bring any book. I would have read that book at least. It is not in Telugu or even in Sanskrit, maybe I try to understand. They don't bring any book. They recite whatever comes to their mind in speed, aeroplane speed. So they say Hindu God understands only in speed, not in slow recitation. So they said this mantra, that mantra, samarpayami, this samarpayami, that samarpayami, swaha. I repeat, all such things. And I did not know what you told God about my mother. I didn't understand. But said, you must touch my feet. I said, no. Then my brother said, I was very adamant for his elder brother. He said, since my elder brother is not touching, I will not touch. So this fellow instigated the whole caste. That community was about 60 houses. All the families are there, including children. Look, you send the Koragandu to school, they have become like this. Now your wife cannot go to heaven. So the whole caste was abusing us. What happened to you? Your mother, you have to touch his feet. Otherwise we will not drink toddy. We will not drink liquor. That is another threat. me, I will not touch his feet whether my mother goes to heaven or not. That is, once I surrender to them, if I were to surrender that day, I would not have learned English at all. Because that feet is a dangerous feet. Anti-knowledge. Anti-knowledge, surrendering my consciousness, my culture, my ethic. This is what they do. Therefore, don't interpret this way. They do not touch other feet. And of course, if today what they want to touch my feet, I will not understand. See, the point is, they don't believe equality. Tell me how a Brahminic person who does not sit and eat food with his fellow citizens in marriages, in religious festivals, in temples, how dare they become nationalists? Equality of eating together is part of nationalism. So therefore my theory is, all those castes who eat together alone are Indian nationalists. Those who do not eat together, they are not nationalists, they are anti-nationalists. You go to Iran, you have come from there, go. Or you came from Germany, go there. Therefore, this is not just putting upside down. It is for the first time after 500 years constructing a theory of our own. Theory of equality. And we learn from Buddha. I'll tell you a story from Buddha. Ajatashatru wanted to conquer Vachian tribe. I come. He sent a message to Buddha, whether should I invade Vachian tribe. Buddha said, no, I will send a research fact-finding committee there. If they have certain qualities to continue. And he sent Ananda, his Shishya, to find out 5 things. He said whether the Vachian tribe takes all its decisions in general assembly. Second, whether the Vachian tribe looks after old people or not. Third, Vachian tribe treats men and women equal or not. Third, Vachian tribe takes care of their children or not. You find it. And the Vachian tribe has following all these points. That was called Republican democracy. So it is that which India reserves today. Therefore, my point is, we must construct new theories based on Indian experience, Indian life, not on European books. That is the reason why I don't quote many Europeans. So, these Jallikattu and other problems, we must put animals to running competition. But we should not break their legs. That's not correct. So, Periyar has respected black color. Periyar has respected animals. For this, there can be animal competition like our cricket or kabaddi. But, if some animals are dying, some humans are dying, we can rediscover games. The forms can be changed. Therefore, that can be reworked in our own new style. So, there are many questions I could not answer. Thank you all for this good